asked for a card, as I have again changed the name of my channel. It's been a journey of trying to discover what it is that I'm all about and what I want to bring through and offer others. But I do feel that this new name, which I'm calling Bridging Insights, hopefully starts to sum this up. Today, I drew a card to get started again. And the card that I drew was this card, the Green Man, Rising Energy, Surge, Fertility. It immediately reminded me of a recent video I watched about the Moss people. And the story had themes of greed and reciprocity. Two sides of a coin, so to speak. It reminds me of the two sides of a coin of things that are happening right now. On one side of the coin, a very selfishness and greed and getting all the money we can to support ourselves or maybe just our families rather than everyone else, rather than our communities. And on the other side of the coin, the Moss people, the earth, and a sort of reciprocity between all that lives on the earth. And that the Moss people represented that reciprocity, that sharing, that caring for one another, of our connection to the earth, and that we're not just here for our own purposes, but for everyone's purposes. And the tale of the Moss people was leading in the direction of showing how we've lost our connection to them. We've lost our connection to the earth. And through greed, we've lost that reciprocity, the caring for one another. And to keep our agreements with each other. The other aspect of the Green Man, which comes forth for me, in general, I think of the Green Man as masculine, man, but I think it's representative of human man, which includes all of us. But as I read about the card, I remember that it's also about spring. It's about growth. It's about renewal. And as I don't remember where I wanted to go here, I'll start to read a bit and then I will remember. No matter how young or old we are, no matter how settled or unsettled we may seem to be, the cycles of the planet are inside of us, and we cannot escape their magic. For now, it is the time of the green man, and the call to rise and reach for the light has come again. This makes me think that we are at a turning point. A lot of people have been describing this as having enough energy in a different direction, the energy of light. And earlier, as I was starting to read this, I was remembering that I wrote a self-published PDF book called Solstice to Solstice, Rebirthing Our Inner Light. And this was about a decade ago, and I was on Facebook at the time and had a daily commitment to myself to reflect on and write upon each day from the winter solstice to the summer solstice. And it's a curiosity to me, because using those words of rebirthing divine inner light were not words that I would have been normally accustomed to expressing. And where exactly this process for me started is kind of unknown to me. It reminds me that our lives are really quite a mystery. The last name that I had given to this channel was my divergent path. And I think I've had a lot of opportunities to go in different directions, to take up my energy to do diverse things. And sometimes that means that I don't know how I've gotten from point A to point B. And once I've left that path and gone on to another, I may not remember parts of that path until some other piece instigates that memory to bring it back forward. So I think here, this is part of the light that has come again, a return of something that has been there in the past. Within the Moss people's story, it was acknowledging how there used to be more of a connection with the earth and more rituals and ways of being to have gratitude for all that the earth provides, and to not greedily take all of the harvest, but to leave some for the Moss people, for whatever helped to generate those crops, that harvest. So let's read a little more here. The nature within you is rising, just as the green man of the spring awakens the seeds and calls to the sap to rise in the world outside of you. Within you is a world, a system of branches and leaves and shimmering light, all of which is longing to be rediscovered and expressed once again. So there's a sense of returning to something within ourselves that we are aware of, but we haven't given much light to or credence to in recent years. Reading further. After the time of stillness, after the quiet and the contemplation, comes the growth and action, and the wisdom of the trees within. And this speaks of, I believe, the fact that we've been in winter and progressed to spring. And soon we will be in the summertime, which is the fullness of the light. And it makes me think of disruptions in the world that have, in a sense, gotten to their peak, but there is a tipping point of the light that it can now come about. And I'm going to read further again. You have inside of you the keys to speak to the trees and the flowers, to rise earlier, rest deeper, feel the song of the soul, hear the song within you, and feel the song of the world inside of you, outside of you, beneath your feet. It is time to take off your shoes and place your feet back into the earth, to let the guidance of the green man help you to choose what you can eat and what you drink, and to grow again, dear child of the earth. So this is reminding us to return to our own nature, to our own inner knowing about what we do and what we ingest and how we are in the world. Reading further. Never forget that while you are surely made of the stars, you are born to the earth, and this earth is a blessing and full of joys. Lie in the sun, tend to the garden inside and in the world. Grow something. Start something yourself. Reach out like the planets and move towards the sun. Let the light within you grow brighter and come from the place where you felt safe. This word safe is important here as we think of ourselves as, well, maybe you do or you don't, people that come from the stars that live on this earth. Recently, I was at a silent meditation session, and I was there to, in my mind, cultivate peace. And I was playing with 2 phrases and breathing in and out. And the initial phrase, I believe, was, I am peace, which ended up being like the star being coming into an earthly body, sending a message to this earthly person, having not experienced everything in life that has caused unrest, sending the message, I am peace. But then this earthly body coming back as if it were a question. I am at peace. But then flipping it around, having been nurtured by his aspect of starness and accepting what is said to him, her, they, them, I am at peace. Inhaling, I am at peace. Knowing the peaceful aspect of him, her, they, them, self. And then exhaling, I am peace to the world. So in this way, there's a cultivation occurring through oneself in the same way that this growing is happening, that something inside of us can grow and be nurtured and then breathe out into the world. So there's a sense of this interaction that takes place. And I think the word safe here brought this up because in order to feel peace or to know peace, we do need to feel safe. And the end here, for now it is time to expand into the world and let nature be your guide and let the shining light within you warm all that is about you. So really giving more influence on this time and that it is time. And it ends with an illumination phrase. I welcome this time of growth and expansion. I reach for the light. So I invite you to think about this time this bridging of insights that is kind of a culmination always of what's come before, and that how things end up relating to each other and cycling back and forth within itself. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you again soon.